only took 2.5 hours. So I've tried these for the first time. I've been looking for a good pair of trail shoes for such a long time, and I just decided to get these ones, and I haven't really worn them that much. So today's run was a bit like a tester run to see how they are. And when you start running longer distances, you start to feel these little aches and pains and where things are rubbing a lot more. Oh my gosh, and wearing shorts. I just thought, it's summertime, I need to get used to getting out of the leggings, letting the legs out, letting them breathe for a second, you know? When I was running, I noticed that every time I ran, these would come up a lot more and my legs would constantly, and so the chafing is real. It was 20-kilometer run today. There's quite a few hills and whatnot, so just depending on the type of terrain, depends on how long it's actually going to take to run that distance. But it took me 2.5 hours today because I was using the approach of running further distances, so you don't always want to be running all the time. So it's alternating between running and going uphill walking, going downhill running kind of slowly-ish. It's all about testing things out to see what works for you with long distance running. But today I've definitely felt the niggles. The legs are just feeling super tight because I've been doing a fair amount of running lately, but the chafing from these shorts is not good. But it's good that we find these things out early so we can do something about them. But the trainers were good. Things were starting to rub in certain places, but I've always had that with running shoes. If things are constantly, they're going to start chafing and rubbing and blistering and all that fun stuff. So I'm just going to have a shower, get ready. I'm actually gonna have a haircut today. I'm having a haircut, getting the mop sorted out because it's looking a little crazy. So I'm using today, as is also such a beautiful day. I feel like everyone in the UK always says that every time it's a half decent day. But it's a beautiful day today, so I'm gonna half dress myself up, make it feel a little bit like an occasion. But this is post-workout snack. Same old, guys, same old. Fruit and yogurt. Haven't got bored of it. Don't actually think I ever will. But it's so good, guys. I tried a new granola. So this is like a berry one. Grapes and usual stuff. It's crazy how much better you can feel just by going for a little haircut. But guys, I'm just gonna sit you down here for a sec. It is so hot today. Oh my gosh. I have something to tell you guys. So there's a big change that's gonna happen. And it's something that I'm feeling really excited about, but at the same time, it took a long time to come to this decision, and I think now it's time to tell you guys about it. So for a long time, I just haven't been that happy in the way that I just wasn't happy where I was in my life, and just kind of the environment that I'm in. Just loads of different things were just creating this whole ball of unhappiness. And it just got to that point where I was like, okay, well, I know I'm feeling like this, so what am I going to do about it? Because if you don't do anything about it, nothing's going to change. And one of the main things that was just making me feel that way was where I am at the moment, just being in London, and London is a very busy place. It's constantly busy, constantly noisy, and it's just an environment that I don't thrive in. Everyone thrives in their own environments, whether that's in the middle of a desert or in the middle of a city where I basically am now. Everyone's completely different, and for me, When I was younger, I was always one of those people that was like, I'm gonna live in this city. I love the hustle and bustle. But as I've slowly gotten older, I appreciate the peace and quiet, the outdoors and the outdoor kind of life a lot more. And so when I came to live in London, I came basically when I was at university, and I've lived in London ever since. For me, environment really affects how I feel, and I've really been able to tell that just purely from enjoying the outdoors a lot more and being more of an active person, going for hikes or just going for a little walk. Just getting out of the house and being immersed in nature is something that I appreciate and love so much more than now that I'm in this part of my life, and I think that it will stay like that for the rest of time. And so I had to make the hard decision of, okay, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to move out of London or move country? And for whoever has considered moving country or just moving to a different part of the country that they're in, it's a big deal. There's a lot to it, lots of sacrifices, friends, family, and all of that. There's so much to consider. And after considering everything, I've decided to move country. I've decided to move to Australia. Yeah, I'm moving to Australia. Even just saying that just makes me think, oh my gosh. I was just in this mindset of something has to change and I just can't stay in London any longer. I'm not a city person at all, and I do also think that as you get older you discover more things about yourself and things change and you appreciate different things and where you are in your life right now than maybe you did when you were at a different age, when you're younger. Or I've always had this drawn to Australia. I actually lived there when I was younger. I can't remember it, but when I was really young, my parents did take us there, my sister and I, and we lived there for a couple of years before coming to England. I know, sometimes you just feel like you need to be somewhere, and whether it works out or not, I just feel like I have to go and do it. And if I don't, it's going to be one of those things where I regret. And I'll say to all of you guys, if you ever get an opportunity to do something, and even though it's quite a scary thing, just do it. Go for it, because there is nothing worse in life than missing out on an opportunity or not doing something because you didn't want to take that step in doing it and having this regret for the rest of your life of you should have done it. That's something that is actually I'm very conscious of in every decision that I make. Am I going to regret it? How is it going to affect me later down the line if I don't do it? And that's something that I really considered in making this decision, going to Australia. So yeah, you guys may be wondering all sorts of different things or questions about all sorts of different things, and I will get into all of that real soon. But I just wanted you guys to know that it's going to be a big change, and if you're ever in this kind of decision where you have a big decision to make, definitely consider how you may feel later down the line when the opportunity isn't there anymore, and that can be something that can really help you make the decision. But at the end of the day, whether this is the wrong decision or not, or if it works out or if it doesn't, I would much rather everything fail knowing that I've done it and it hasn't worked out, rather than not trying at all and thinking for the rest of my life that it could work out. The goal, guys, in life is happiness. And as you figure more and more things out in your life, you kind of figure out what you do want and what you don't want. And we're never going to be at that point where we've got everything figured out. Life is always about figuring things out, and as we go along we figure more things out about ourselves. And so just do the things that are going to make you happy. You could have everything in the whole entire world and still be unhappy. But You know, I go to some of these countries that don't have a lot. They just have family, or they just have the bare minimum, yet they are the happiest people I've ever seen. So, a lot of exciting things to come, guys. I'll see you guys soon.